That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot, you only get one shot.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25.
Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Finding room at midfield. And some room to maneuver. Down the...
Because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defending.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Evan McPherson out for the...
Allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A game on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The Cowboys had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll try to throw now. Prescott.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson.
And the Bengals are going to have it here just past the 25. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On second down and 4. Burrow airing one out for Boyd. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football. Because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bengals will have solid field position.
But understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game.
Now Burrow loses the football.
But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
A big play there for Cincinnati. 43 yards on the ground. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Pushes him over. And he's brought down. 62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Here we go.
Mixon will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Throwing, Prescott. This is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Christian Watson.
His second touchdown on the season.
And the Cowboys have got it back to within a score.
Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback.
On one, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a bout of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Tariq Carpenter. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a third-day selection. Anyone after the fourth round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
11.
On 2nd and 9.
Burrow under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try to buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
An update from Denver. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Eli Apple. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning them into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Here we go.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Burrow looking to pass.
Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something.
With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is up to 8.
Bengals 17, Cowboys 9.